Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to Uncle L TV. Welcome to One-on-One with Uncle L. Today we have an incredible woman in the studio. Her name is Busi Silesho. She is a author, a speaker, a financial coach, and she's a Mrs. South Africa finalist. Listen, she is a whole lot of woman. Welcome to the studio, Busi. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Linda. I am a big fan of your work.
Likewise.
So I am honored to be here.
Oh, awesome. Well, listen, it's always great to just, get some wisdom from you. There's something that I always talk about. I always say that relationships and even marriage really are always affected by two big things. The two biggest causes of divorce, of separation, of whatever, are infidelity and finances. So I think when you bring in somebody that can help people deal with their finances better, you're already kind of taking care of this one issue.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a lot of studies show it's 80%, 70% of marriages that ends just because of money.
Imagine,
it
80%.
Doesn't matter if it's more or less money. It's just money.
Oh, wow. You see, now that's another thing, because my immediate assumption when I hear that phrase is it's because of lack of money.
Yeah, even more money does the same thing.
So how do we get around this? We see, like, why would a lot of money break up a marriage?
Yeah, so we all have been in the situation where you are young, you meet your partner and you get married later, and you both of you were broke as church mouses, and then you are now in this relationship. You are both growing. But then once you've grown, all of a sudden it's like the growth now is no longer. I say to you, oh no, I think a house is better. You say, no, I think a car is better. The other one thinks I should do this with the money. The other one thinks I should do this with the money.
Right.
So it is not because the people don't love each other anymore. It's just because the money is showing more of who they are. Because everyone, when they're broke, they listen to what the other one is saying.
Yeah.
Once you've got money, you want
think
to
you're
be
above
you.
it, eh? Yeah.
So at that point, it's where then those two people are finding themselves in another setup. And if they do not understand how to incorporate that again, I mean, a lot of times I have had people who are experts at this. They say everybody gets into a different marriage 3 times. It's either with the same person or with a different person.
Oh, wow.
Because we evolve that much. I mean,
is this age related, or is this sort of mindset and maturity related?
It gets into age because every about 12 years, we totally change everything.
Oh, wow.
So I studied astrology. All of us, every year we have a year number, like your year number is 3, your year number is 4. So you go through a cycle of 12. As you see, there's 12 zodiac sign. When you get out of that, you come back to 1. So you are a new person. So you go through 12 years and then you change to be a new person. So if in that 12 years it finishes and then now you are no longer liking who I am and I'm no longer liking who you are as the new person, then the relationship is over. And money has a good way of activating that quickly. It's like a catalyst. It makes it easy. Then all of a sudden, we blame the money while it's not the money. It was just the person was changing and they did not change together. Or whatever they changed into was no longer what they wanted to be with each other.
It's so funny you say that. I've often heard the phrase that money doesn't change people. It just projects you and makes you more of who you are. Am I right?
More of who you are. It just magnifies you.
Yeah, it magnifies. There we go. Yeah.
So if you were a good person, you're really going to be like, this Mother Teresa.
Yeah. You'll do good with your money.
Like you do way more good. And I mean, if you're an arrogant person, you're going to be just
that much more arrogant.
If you're a selfish person, you're just going to be you are my child. Take money. Leave me alone. You're gonna be a more selfish person. So now it is not the money, but then the money plays an important role.
Sure.
Because money is, everybody wakes up in the morning and they go to a job because, or work or business because of money. So it's mostly like the one thing in all our lives that is common. That we all, I mean, there are people who wake up and they look more into their spiritual life, but that's probably like 1% of the population of the planet. They are probably already in some mountain there being a monk.
so money is a non-issue anyway.
Money for them is like, money, what is that? Ah, really, I don't care about that. So the rest of us, the 98%, we actually work towards that. We're building ourselves towards it. So now, in a relationship then, you find that most of the time what I've seen is that women and men do not understand their feminine energy and their masculine energy.
Okay.
That is where then the divide comes in quickly and it takes over. A man has more of masculine energy and a woman has more of feminine energy. Not that a man doesn't have feminine energy.
Feminine, yeah.
They do. Not that a woman doesn't have masculine energy. They do. But in a relationship, when you come together, you need to come with the part that is more, you are easily in it. So you have to bring in the feminine energy for a woman and you have to bring in the masculine energy when you're a man.
Okay.
And then because society also has gone through too much, you find that the man grew up and never experienced the masculinity when he was growing up. So when he enters the relationship, he enters it with more feminine energy. And when he enters with feminine energy more, he thinks he is the creator. He doesn't understand that he is the doer. Because a feminine energy, you are the creator. The masculine energy is the doer. So when he comes into the relationship, he wants to tell what must happen. So, I mean, social media has always said, it's this man that comes and says, how much are you bringing to the table? So he wants to find a place where he can say what must happen. But a man is not good at that. We all know if you can go to a boardroom, all men that says what must happen, they are always looked at that eye like, what is wrong with you? Why are you be so bossy? Why are you be such a bully? Why are you be so toxic? Nobody likes a person like that in that manner because then it's just too much. But in a relationship, a man, in all relationships, I mean, we've seen relationships that have been there for years. You find that the man will tell you, I listen to my wife. What my wife says goes. Because the thing is that the wife is the one that knows when we need to move out of the 1 bedroom. The wife is the one that knows when we need to move out of the 3 bedroom. The wife is the one that knows when we need to move into the mansion. The man can say from the 1 bedroom to the mansion and it's not the right time because he is not good with that. But the woman knows exactly when the move needs to happen because the woman has feminine energy, which is a creating energy. But the man is good at saying, oh, okay, now we're supposed to move to the 3 bedroom. Okay, let me go and get this tender and this.
So he implements what she has brought about with her voice.
Yes. But she is also supposed to understand her part. She is supposed to lead the way in terms of the timing of the family. That's why we all have heard that behind every successful man is a woman. It's either it's your mother, it's your sister, or it's your wife, or what, but there is a woman. Because that mother will say, my son, now you are ready. Now you can do it. Now it's the time. Then he does it. But the thing is that men don't have a problem doing stuff. Women have a problem doing stuff. Men don't have when you say to a man, now go get, men are not scared of work. Men are made for work. They don't fear that. He can work day and night and he doesn't feel like it's a problem. Take a woman and make her work day and night. She will be the bitter, worst devil you can have. That is why when she goes to work and work hard and come back home and still have to wash the dishes, she wants to kill somebody.
So if I'm understanding correctly, and I could be wrong, I'm just trying to make sure that I'm not messing up what you're saying here. What you're saying is the woman ideally should actually be leading with her speech, with her thoughts, but when it comes to the actual grunt, the physical work that's got to do with this, should be taking more of a back seat.
Okay, so
how does it work with single people?
Yes, thank you so much for bringing that up. So the woman always, so in this case, let's say the man is running a business or he's got a job somewhere where he needs to grow. So let's just say he runs a business. This woman, because she is more spiritually inclined to understanding timing and energy and vibes, she is the one who's supposed to stand in the gap for the man wherever he goes. When he goes to a interview, the woman who should have made the way for him spiritually. That is why, that is, the woman should have made that for him spiritually. When he goes to a tender, he should
let her know.
Yeah, he should let her know. So in my family, when I go to my prayer corner, once they see me put on my toque, everybody's like, tomorrow I'm doing that. Please don't forget. They literally send their requests.
It's so incredible you're saying this. You know, my wife always gets mad when I'm planning to do something, when I'm trying to do something, and I don't tell her.
Don't ever do
She says, I need to put, but I never understood the greater context and the greater meaning of what you're saying.
God hears women. I'm not saying God hears women more, but I'm saying women have a way with God.
That's incredible. Okay, so back to the single people.
So when you are single now, the good thing is that all of us have the feminine and the masculine. So when you are, and that's why we've seen in South Africa especially, how many households are women only and they function proper? It's because then you are able to go into that sacred place and lay out the feminine creating power. But then you are able to stand up from there and do something about it. So in this case, you are going to go there, lay out your whole entire story of what is going to happen, how is it going to happen. And then when you stand up, you're going to get into a boardroom. And in that boardroom, you do not bring in masculine energy, which a lot of women do, and then it ends up wrong. It ends in tears. You need to get into that boardroom and bring in the feminine energy. Because again, in that boardroom, there is a masculine energy and a feminine energy that needs to come together for this project to work, for this company to function. Now, women who just talk too much and don't understand their feminine power, nobody wants to give them a break. Nobody wants to give them an increase. Nobody wants to give them an extra position. And then they're like, oh man, do this, do this. No, you need to get this. Shut up. And wait until you have set up the whole entire energy and you feel the entire energy. And then they will say, Busi, can you please tell us what to do? When you speak, you will say, this and this and this must happen. And they will all stand up and go and do it.
Wow.
So, I mean, this happens to me all the time. I mean, one time I had said this on my, I teach coaches, I have a coaching academy, and I told them how to do this feminine vibe that helps heal people without you forcing it. And I went into a TV interview and all of them were watching and they were like, oh my God, you just did that. That guy was so active until you started speaking and then he started to shut up and he was like, yes, she's right, we can do this. Yes, literally on an interview stage, he didn't know me, but I didn't go there to compete with him. I was there to support his energy and he could feel that support and he took on it. So even when you are single a woman, you do the same thing.
Okay, so so people can actually sort of harness this by themselves, or do they need coaching to do this? Is this something that somebody can work on by themselves?
It is something that somebody can work on by themselves. It is just that.
Just as long as they know what they're doing.
Yes,
right?
It is just that all of us have lost the GPRS, you know, because you're working hard, you come back home, you're tired, you're watching crazy stuff on TV of people who are losing jobs and, you know, and then you're putting that on your energy and then you probably eating spatlo and whatever, and then you sleep, you don't dream anymore, you don't talk to your guides while you're sleeping, you don't understand what's going on, you can't hear God, God is talking, like don't do that tomorrow in the meeting, you don't hear that because you are out.
Okay, hold the thought. We need to come back and talk about energies. We need to come back and talk about energies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Folks, I think we could go on in this conversation forever, but let's take a break. We'll come back shortly. What's up, everybody? If you loved what you see, if you enjoyed the content, please give us a comment, Let us know. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comment section as well. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, and please click on that notification button so you can see every time we post new content. Thanks very much. Welcome back, guys. Listen, I think this is one of those conversations that we can never ever finish in one sitting. So we're definitely going to be doing this again. Busi, thank you so much. It's really awesome to have you. Look, you used to frustrate me. You probably don't even know this, but you used to frustrate the living daylight out of me when I'd be working hard and I'm trying to make this happen. And you said, calm down. Money is about energy.
Yeah.
Focus on your energy, work on yourself. Please talk to us about that.
Yeah, I mean, you know this for sure. I mean, you have done so well for a long time. Hence, I said, I am totally a fan of your work. I mean, you've been there when all of us were asleep. You were awake.
Thank you.
So, but every time when we do something, when we are pushing it to work, it normally does not get there. So all of us have gotten something just miraculous. And you'll be like, oh, I didn't even apply for this job.
Try that hard, yeah.
I got it. I didn't even expect this. It happened. So we are not having that desperate energy. We're not having that, it must happen. I am the one doing it. So normally a lot of people don't know where to cross the line between setting a goal and wanting to be the ones who make the goal happen.
Wow. Okay, all right. But faith without, what's the phrase?
Works.
Faith without works
Yes.
is dead.
So works is when you set yourself up in alignment. That is work. And it shouldn't look like you having amapigi for show.
Right. I get you.
So sitting in meditation is work. Nobody wants to believe that. I don't know why. And I mean, it's work because, I mean, how many people do that? How many people wake up and say, I'm going to work on myself right now. I'm going to sit in meditation and actually work on my vibration. That is the work you need to put in. Because the thing is, I was once a salesperson and we were taught that you need to make 100 calls. For every 100 calls, you'll get one client. Now, 99 people are supposed to tell you, get off my case. I'm going to find you. I'm going to find where you live and I'm going to
slap you. I'll be waiting outside your work. I've heard.
So 99 people have to tell you that before one say yes. It's science. It works. But how would you be feeling after 99 people have told you you are nothing?
Yeah.
You should never do
like
this ever again. Yes. So, and it doesn't mean that there wasn't one person that was waiting. But then what if you could just go to the one person and jump at the 99?
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Wouldn't that be amazing? So then you'd be like, oh, Busi, I mean, calling 99 people might take you a week.
Yeah.
And at the end of the week, you get one person.
That one. Yeah.
Or you could spend more time in working on yourself in that week and then go and talking to the one person. Because now you know who is the one person. And most of the time, what normally happens is that the one person then finds you.
I've heard this phrase that whatever you are looking for is actually looking for you too.
So at 3 years, I mean, it's not been long that I started doing this work. 3 years ago, I wrote a book. And when
provocative book, the title in itself. Please tell the folks what the book is called.
So the title is, with money and black people, why black people don't have money and how to heal your money story.
Yes.
So I wrote this book. I mean, the title, when I was asking for the title, I was shocked at how I was like, no, man, I'm not going to do that to myself. And then I launched the book. I was on Power FM for a whole year, every Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Now,
I remember.
The first 3 months, I got calls that were threatening me. Because how dare you say us black people don't have money?
Yeah.
And then 3 months later, the same people started to call and say, now we've read the book, now we get it.
Now we get what you're saying.
Okay, so, I mean, it was that dramatic for me to even do it. But then the most important thing was that I then said, you know what, God? I really don't care about who buys the book, where they buy it, whatever happens. What I am doing is I just want to see more people, especially black people, have money. And if they learn it through me, happy. If they lend it to somebody else, I'm happy.
Also great,
My only concern is that more black people do not go through what I went through, because this is why. And I said, everywhere where there is a person who needs to understand something about this, let them understand it whichever way they will understand it. And I mean, and I started the work, and then I became a coach while I was doing that. And again, my prayer was that I want people who come to me and pay for a session and come sit down with me, do not get less than 100,000 for the time and the money they came to me for.
Okay, so I just sat down with you right now. Am I going to get 100,000?
Absolutely, you definitely deserve it.
Okay, so tell me something real quick. I love the fact that you've kind of touched on it right now. The fact that your book is also coming from your experiences that you've gone through, and you don't want the same people to have to go through the same experiences as you to learn what you've eventually learned. What did you go through? What happened?
Oh, wow. It's a lot. But the one that is like, I still look at myself and I ask myself, what happened to you? 40 million rand in debt. Oof. I never saw it coming. One day I woke up and I had the news. Now you owe the bank 40 million.
Oh my goodness.
And I was like, are you sure? And from there I was literally 29 years old.
Yeah.
And I was like, 29-year-olds do not have this kind of problems that I have. What is wrong with me?
40 million
rand. And I mean, that was over 6 businesses. From property to tracking to everything that you can think of.
My goodness.
So I was then sitting there thinking, what have I done? We then got into sequestration. I'm married in community of property. We lost everything. My husband lost everything. We were left with the clothes we were wearing. And I was like, but why am I like this? I really questioned who I was. And of course, at that point, I was that person who attends every personal development, reads every book from America to New York to UK to wherever. And I was doing those things. Some of them, they will say you need money to make money, all those kind of things. I implemented those things. And of course, I created assets of 40 million rand. So those things were working. But the only thing that wasn't there was that I was working for money. I was not sleeping. Once when I was giving birth to my daughter, the one you met earlier, I was in a hospital on a Friday and they were saying the baby is stressed, it's not going to come, so we need to induce you. I was like, okay, fine, what is that? Then they explained, I was like, okay, fine. So there I was in a hospital being induced while I'm on my laptop talking to a client.
No.
And the client is asking, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm giving birth, but I will be fine too.
No. Lucy, that's hectic. That is...
You see how crazy this was? I was just pushing money. Money was my only thing.
Yeah.
So that is why today, people judge me for not wanting money. But I don't ever want to be in that position where I want. But then guess what? Money now comes to me. I do not work for 1 second for money. But I worked for money like there is no tomorrow.
Yeah.
I was not sleeping.
And you're comfortable.
No, I'm perfect. Free money is so nice.
Money comes easily and frequently.
Yes, but I was in a place where I worked myself to death. Who gives birth while they are talking to a client?
That's an extreme. I've never heard that.
I gave birth to the baby. She came on that Saturday. And then on the Monday, I gave the baby to the nanny. I was back at work.
Oh my gosh.
And I had a C-section.
Did you name her Mali?
I should have.
Her middle name should be Mali, just for the hell of it.
But then at the time I was doing this thing, I was like, you have to push, you have to hustle. And it wasn't like I was broke. I was in the top class hospital in Pretoria, the one that they give you everything. You just literally, You
just show up.
But my energy was that I don't have. And my biggest energy was that I might lose it all. So I needed to keep working and keep working and keep working and keep pushing and keep... Was it working? Yeah, the pushing was working. But guess what? The fact that I had a limiting belief that said you might lose it all, it actually happened.
It's actually what happened, yeah.
So after that, when I finally had come to that Jesus moment, like, wow, seriously, you've actually did this. You've actually messed up your life this much. I then found a coach who said to me, you don't have a problem with money. You have a problem with the relationship you have with money. Then I was like, now you want me to have a relationship. My income statement looks horrible. You want to tell me about a relationship I have with money. And that's when I then found out the spirituality and the energy of money. I mean, what I went through, I'm happy I did, because every day when I see a person now hustling, I look at them and I know exactly what they're going through, and I know exactly how it's going to end.
They are you at 29.
Yes. I know exactly how they're going to. But the thing is, sometimes it's good, this hustling, because you do get tired. And then most people that come to me, they are tired.
They're exhausted, yeah.
They like come and gossip. Oh, you make so much, you talk so much rubbish. But you know what? Let me just listen to you because I'm tired.
Yeah.
And then we do 1, 2 literally energy healing sessions. And we're healing that part. And then they like, wow, I was never ready.
So where does one start? Let's just say the person doesn't have access to Wusi in terms of, coming in and getting an energy healing session. How do I begin to stop worrying when the repo man is knocking at my door? When, do you know what I mean? There's all these things happening all at the same time.
Yeah.
And the thought process says, I can't just sit and do nothing when all of this is happening. Where do
no
I
one
go?
should ever sit and do nothing. As I said, you work on yourself. But then the most important part in everybody's life is when the repo man is at the door. That is where you want your life to be at. Because...
Excuse you? Whoa, pause. What? No.
Because you know what? The repo man actually takes away your troubles.
Yeah.
They are there to take away the troubles, because what is troubling you?
Debt.
Yeah, no, they are there to take away. I mean, when I got sequestrated, it was the most painful thing, but it was also the most liberating thing.
Yeah.
Of course, for 16 years, I couldn't have any debt. I mean, it took me 16 years to come out of that. But in the 16 years, now I learned to buy a car cash. I learned to buy a house cash. The repo man is here to take away your troubles. Let him do it.
I'm hoping that the folks at home are listening to this, because there's so much truth to this. We hold on to these things that are actually keeping us prisoner.
Yeah.
And we desperately cling to them because I've built this life and I've built these trappings. But these trappings are what's actually keeping me trapped, aren't they?
Once the repo man has done his job, you are free. You can finally start afresh from it. I know that moment when you actually like, okay, fine, now I don't owe anybody.
It's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Okay, fine. And then you actually have a good excuse. What happened to you? No, I got repossessed.
It's gone. And I don't need to explain anything beyond that. It's gone.
You can sleep now. But then at that point is where then you can create.
Right.
You can't create while you're running from the repo man.
Sure.
While you're running from it, you're trying to borrow from John to pay the repo man, and John is like saying, also, yesterday you were here. You're trying to do all sorts of things that are no longer about building yourself, but just about running from the repo man. Let the repo man come and do his job. Then you can start afresh in a creating mode.
You get out of survival mode, don't you? Because it's hard to be creative when you're being when you're surviving.
No, you can't. It doesn't work like that. Your energy is not aligned with creating. Your energy is aligned with, I'm in lack, I don't have. How can I prove you that I don't have? Look at how much I'm needing to pay next week. So, I mean, I don't say everybody should just allow the repo man to happen. But what I'm saying is that even if the repo man doesn't knock at the door, you can stop him from knocking at the door by doing the same thing that you'd have done if he had come.
Right.
So I always say to people, you have to be the money before the money comes.
Be willing to surrender sometimes.
So see the repo man come and experience that, and then live like the repo man has already come. Because when you're in that state, you know what happens there. You don't care if he comes or not.
Right.
Then
you actually don't.
That's when he never will ever step a foot in your house.
My gosh. Okay. We'll see. We're running out of time. and I swear to you, we've scratched the surface.
Yes, absolutely.
How do people get hold of you? Where do people get hold of you? And when are we doing this again?
Yeah, no, we definitely need to do this again.
We must.
Definitely. So I'm on YouTube. I've got a YouTube channel that I post videos that I talk about all this kind of stuff every probably week.
Awesome.
And I'm on Instagram. So if somebody wants to talk to me, send me an inbox on Instagram.
Okay. All right.
So those are the...
Gonja, what do you young people call it? A DM.
DM, yeah.
Right.
So other than that, I've got courses, a whole lot of courses that can help. From
Fantastic.
Getting out of debt, from increasing your earning potential. So those are all in my website. It's busiselesha.com.
Fantastic. Busi, thank you very much. Folks, thank you very much for joining us. I hope that this was as enlightening for you. I've read Busi's book. I've had conversations with Busi, but still, every time I have a chat with her, I walk away with this bug-eyed look. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this. And please, remember, like, follow, subscribe. And please go check out Busi's channel as well. Guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Cheers.